Raturday night is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
I gotta say, my least favorite part of the show is the beginning. I get up here and I'm like, okay, so for the next 10 minutes I'm gonna have to be at least a little bit interesting. Then I'm gonna have to be at least a little bit interesting to, like, another person who's, you know, speaking to me. And then I'm gonna have to do that all over again. I was watching Steve MRE. We all know the MRE guy, Steve MRE. Like, this guy is incredibly relaxing to me. Hi, Embras. So, part of the thing is I can't see chat right now. That's making me anxious. I have to check a different window for chat. But also, I was watching Steve MRE, because I take it to calm down, right? I watch the Steve MRE, and he's a very calming presence. I mean, there's very rarely something he doesn't like, right? Like, he's always like, yeah, that's super good, you know? That's what he talks like. And it lulled me into a false sense of security today, because I was watching this guy, and all of a sudden, he was like, yeah, that's delicious. Very rich, you know? And then all of a sudden, he starts talking about this sesame seed bar, and he fucking hates it. Like, he couldn't be more angry about it. Ugh. Yeah, I fucking hate these. You can't even eat these. I broke my tooth on one of these, and I'm like, dude, I'm having a panic attack. I need you to be chill right now. So, you know, that was my experience with Steve MRE recently. It's so scary. You know, it's like, okay, there are certain people I know who have only ever been kind to me, except for, like, one time where they got fucking scary because I did some bullshit and they were like, this is a discussion now. We're fucking talking. And it's so scary to me. That's like, when that happens, because I just am sitting there like, oh man, everything that used to be nice is not nice anymore, you know what I mean? I also have anxiety, though, so, like, that's whatever. But I have anxiety, the feeling, not the condition. Not Dead is out, which I'm excited about. But I have nothing to say about it. Here's what I'll say about it. Leave your questions about Not Dead in the chat, and we will go over them at intermission or some shit, I don't fucking know. We got two great guests on today. We got Gutterbunny coming up first, and then after that we got Amber on to talk about Hexen X3, the third installment of the Hexen URL show. Is there piss in Not Dead? Not in the first one, but in the sequel that I'm writing right now, yes there is. But not in the way that you think. You'll remember me and, am I allowed to say this name? Me and Chloe Mouse, were on the first Hexen, and now they've improved it by, you know, separating the wheat from the chaff. You know, is what I'll say. Don't tell anyone I'm still talking about Chloe Mouse, by the way. It's a little embarrassing. But yeah, so I'm gonna be on Hexen 3. We're doing a special, like, Raturday night moments kind of thing, where they're 15 minutes instead of 2 hours. I'm such a bad fucking talk show host because I have my topics sheet up here. I'm like, here's 3 things that I could talk about that would be, like, super funny. I talked about Steve MRE hating sesame seed bars. I talked about Not Dead is out. And the third topic I wrote down for some reason, which I thought would be, like, so hilarious, was... my childhood dog died 2 years ago, and nobody told me. And that's hilarious. I think that's the funniest fucking thing in the world. That, like, I just didn't... I was never told. Nobody ever told me. But I thought that would be funny to talk about on stream. Let's talk about Anemoia instead. Anemoia is a comic about a group of punk furries living in the Midwest dealing with queerness, mental illness, magical realism, and other fun topics. You can find that at anemoia-comic.tumblr.com. Author, artist, vampire, Gutterbunny is here to talk about it. on the show tonight. Gutter, I have to ask, how long have you been a vampire? Yeah, let's talk about it. Like, what's more interesting than that, you know? Oh, fuck. All right, now chat can hear you. Perfect. Don't worry, it's fixed.
Testing?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
So you were talking about 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago was when I actually like got into like Interview the Vampire and just like vampires in general.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when like the whole like interest in vampires just sort of like blossomed. Something like clicked with like Interview. It was like this mix between like being sort of like there's something like like glamorously unglamorous about being like pushed into like the margins of society in a way that I really related to. Plus, like I've always been like a lifelong fan of like horror and monsters and stuff. So like something about vampires really like just like resonated with me in that way. Plus, like vampires tend to be like really gay.
Definitely. I see a lot of vampires, and a lot of them are gay. It wasn't. Which way around was it? You got bitten and then you got interested in vampires, or you got interested in vampires and then you went to seek someone out to bite you?
Well, I got bit in like the 90s when the whole Blade thing was going around, and like
nice.
Vampires then were just like really like they really like couldn't keep it in their mouths, so to speak, around that time. They were just really happy about like representation. So that's when I got turned, but I like never got interested in like commingling with other vampires and shit until like recently. I just sort of like just kept doing my own thing.
I mean, that it really is like that to start out. You kind of get stuck in these ruts where you're like, you know, I don't want to associate, you know, this happens with zombies and possums, to be honest, where you sort of get a complex about like, that's a silly word to call what I am, but you know, life goes on. How do you feel about the word vampire? I'm curious.
The word vampire?
Yeah.
It is a phonetically pleasing word. I like it. It's got like a sharpness to it. Vampire. It's very it's a word that just feels gothic. You know what I mean?
It's almost like
just say it to yourself. Just say
vampire.
Yeah. Did you imagine the Gothic cathedrals?
Oh, I did. I'm picturing them now. They're beautiful. What? Okay, so talk about this. You like. Let's talk about your dream cathedral real quick.
My dream cathedral?
Yeah, your dream cathedral.
You ever see Black Sunday?
I have not seen Black Sunday. Hold on, let's get Google Images up.
It's a movie. It's a black and white horror movie from the '60s. I really love the vibe. I never finished watching it, but like that initial like ruined cathedral scene, like really stuck with me.
We'll have to get a producer to find that exact frame of the title of the movie that I've already forgotten, even though I just typed it. Black Sunday. Can you describe a little bit for us? Just sort of take us there. Take us to like a visualization of your dream.
It's like imagine just like in black and white on top of a hill, just like a ruined like chapel. Right, and underground there are like these like catacombs, and there's like a sarcophagus in the ruins of these catacombs with like giant bat creatures flying around.
I'm seeing it now.
And like in the coffin, there's like a woman with like who's wearing like this iron mask.
Ooh.
And like that's like Black Sunday. It's gothic. It's got like the pointed arches. It's got the flying buttresses. It's like torn down. There's rubble everywhere. Wolves are like lurking on like the fringes of the area and stuff.
So in that, do you picture yourself as the woman in the coffin with the iron mask?
Sure.
All right, sick, fantastic. We figured it out, everybody. Let's get the architects out here. We'll do a dream cathedral. Wow, I didn't have so many windows open. So
Bats keep flying in.
yeah, I'm I'm all over the place. I want to talk about Anamoya. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Anamoya.
Anamoya.
It's like a actual word. So and I think I'm pronouncing it right.
Mm-hmm.
The word itself means like nostalgia for a time that you've never been a part of.
Oh, that was what I was about to ask. So now I'm kind of floundering. How far out do you have it planned? Tell us about this.
Currently, like, okay, so you want me to tell you about like the initial production, then tell you how much I've got planned?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then tell you. Okay, so Anamoya like initially started out in concept as more autobiographical than it already is, and a lot more like weird and disjointed and cerebral. The initial idea I had when I was like initially like putting it all together was like a very self-reflective comic about like emotions I've went into, and emotions I've dealt with and I'm currently dealing with, and like all the characters would be like different like aspects of myself, not in terms of like personality, but in terms of like points in time. Like you would have a character that's like that represents the future, one that represents the past, another that represents the past that could have been. But the more I worked on it and the more ideas started coming, the less like weird and cerebral it became, and a plot started like just sort of like bubbling out of the ether piecemeal. And now like right now I have an outline in my head for like what the first arc is going to be like, beginning, middle, and end, and like I'm starting to get ideas for like a second arc as well.
Well, yeah, I'm excited that there are going to be arcs. I feel like there are a lot of really promising comics that have like one arc, and then it turns out that's just what it is. And you know, from an artistic perspective, it's like you have to stop when you're done. But from a consumer perspective, I'm always like, that was really good, I want more, right? Like it's difficult because that's also such a weird mindset to get into. You mentioned certain characters in the development phase kind of representing parts of your past, present, and future. I wonder if you could, I mean, are the characters that were in the development stage analogous enough to the characters that exist now that that you could draw that sort of line between who represents what?
Honestly, no, not anymore.
All right.
I think the people in this thing have changed enough to the point, because a lot of characters actually got omitted, at least from the first arc. Because like I decided, because like when the initial outline for the plot like kind of like came together, I decided I would be able to it would run a lot more smoothly if I just like cut a few things that seemed extraneous. And like there is a character that used to represent like the future or like an idealized future, but like now they're their own like character and they have their own things, their own worries, their own past, their own like reasons for being, I guess.
Yeah, that's always nice when you sort of reach that moment where you can take a character and kind of break it off of the whole, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Speaking of character,
what did I agree to?
Sorry, go ahead. I don't know.
What did I agree to?
Well, you know, we're working on it. This show is in shambles at all times. You know, this is a whole brain projection space. It's normal. You know, we're living in the future.
It's really impressive for like being in a warehouse.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I mean, the warehouse is in my mind, so you know, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to just, you know, think about a warehouse. You ever thought about a warehouse? Have you been in an abandoned warehouse? What's your best abandoned house story?
Oh my god, I've always wanted to do urbex, but like,
You've never gone?
what happened?
What?
Huh? I've always
Hello?
wanted to do like, hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Okay, we're good. Sorry, you've always
Okay.
wanted to do urbex.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do urban exploring, but I never got the chance. Me and my like girlfriend are constantly talking about wanting to like drive in abandoned like places. The closest we've got, it was like we drove in the apartment. We drove around in a parking lot of an abandoned mall, like looking for a way in,
Hmm.
and suddenly like cars started like just coming out of like the darkness, and we got spooked and we left.
Well, that is the thing. You got to be careful about, because I think land developers know when they have like a high value target in terms of urban exploring, and an abandoned mall is like fucking top tier. God, there's so many things in a mall. So I think they probably, you can get into an abandoned house pretty easily, but if you try to get into like a mall, which has all, they call it the mall because it has all the environments in it. It's like, it's like something with environments in it. You do have to be careful about malls. I can't believe you've never been. Oh my god, come to Toronto, I'll take you. Come to Vancouver, because I'll be living in Vancouver.
That'd be sick.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. Fucking talk to my agent. We'll set something up. We'll get a photographer out.
I've got a gas mask. I just need to buy filters for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not even as bad as I think some people make it out to be. There's only been one time, I'm talking a lot about myself, but there's only been one time where I ended up having to like, take a sick day because I had inhaled some kind of mold, but it's really not that dangerous. Stay out of 6-inch deep water and you'll be fine.
Oh, it's not because it's like dangerous. It's just because I like wanna. It's because I've been playing Stalker a lot lately,
It's for the aesthetic.
and if I want to visit, yeah, if I want to visit abandoned like places, I wanna complete the aesthetic.
Can you tell me, how would you go with a gas mask fit?
Uh, let's see. I do have like boots and like a jacket, I guess,
Okay.
and I've got like a backpack. I could fill it with like flares and stuff.
So you're going full like post-ironic with it. You're like, yes, I want the full look. I think about gas masks and I think about, different styles of fashion. But this is, you come around. And it's great. Whew. So, we were talking about characters earlier. And I think we talked about abandoned houses for too long. Or I did, rather.
Yeah.
So, where a lot of Anamoya so far has been set up, right? I feel like we're meeting these characters and we're getting to know these short but telling stories about just the way they do their everydays. And I want to know where the plot is going. I'm curious about that. Or is that a secret?
I don't feel like I could like explain what's going to happen next in the plot without spoiling it, because I have a lot of like surprises planned. I have like told like a couple people what's going to happen next, but like
it's a secret. I understand. 100%. I get it.
yeah, I can't say in public. I'm under like self-imposed NDA here.
Yeah, of course.
But like the second arc is going to sorry, not the second arc, but the second like act is going to kick off when this current chapter I'm working on is completed, and the next chapter after that is also done. Right now things are still like in the setup phase. We are right now in the comic, we just met Whiskey. And like Whiskey's a whole other character with past and their own like issues.
I wonder,
like although right now a lot of Whiskey's like past is still like a sketch. There's like a dad in there somewhere, and like she ran away for a while and like kind of like spent a majority of her life being like a squatter on the streets and stuff.
That's interesting. Why those choices, I wonder? Hello?
Why those choices for
Oh,
whiskey?
yeah, why those choices for Whiskey's backstory?
Because like all of the main trio, the main three characters, Alexis, Whiskey, and Sim, all are like are all dealing with like these mental issues,
Mm-hmm.
like these mental issues, things in their past that like cause trauma, and a lot of it is like about like putting what makes them tick under like a microscope and like kind of observing.
Hmm. Who? So I wonder where does your inspiration come from for this? Can we talk about that?
My inspiration for Animoya came from a lot of places. Like, there's this one creepypasta called, what was it called? Like, it was called Tales from a Lonely Broadcast Station.
Mm-hmm.
Was a big influence on it initially because I really enjoyed like the setting and tone of this like creepypasta, and it was about like a woman who like wore flannel and stuff in the Midwest, and she works in like a radio station,
Hmm.
and like she's sort of like dealing with like the fact that her like purpose isn't like just like being a radio jockey. It's also like fending off like the stuff that's coming up in like this weird fog and stuff. And originally, I actually wanted like Alexis, the main character, to be like someone who worked in a radio station. But I like cut that idea because I wanted her like out and around in town more.
Mm-hmm.
And like being in a radio station would mean A, doing a lot of research, yuck. B, she would spend a lot of time like in that radio station. So it's like, you know what? She's like on the precipice of being a Zoomer and a millennial. She'll just have a podcast or whatever that she'll occasionally like talk into.
Hell yeah, we love a podcast. I mean, as much as I hate podcasts, but like we love a podcast when it's a podcast. Um, I had a question that I was going to ask, and it was you mentioned this was partially inspired by creepypasta, and I wonder, is this a direction? Should we expect this to veer into the supernatural?
I mean, I have already sort of. I would like say that yeah, you should be expecting the supernatural. Just don't expect like lore or like answers quite yet. The way
Mm-hmm.
I have it is that like the way I sort of like you remember have you read the chapter Ancient Magic?
I believe so. It's been a while now. I've skimmed it like on Monday to figure it out and figure out questions, but I remember reading that back when it came out, and I remember being very cool. Sorry, please continue.
Remember Bill?
I remember Bill, yeah.
Yeah, Bill. Bill is like was meant to be sort of a hint
Mm-hmm.
of like sort of things to come.
Mm-hmm.
Like this mysterious weird bird creature statue out in the middle of the forest that like portends at like strange and weird things to come. The way I have it now is that like magic is just sort of like a natural element in this world
Mm.
that just sort of exists, like fire or water or whatever, and it just like and it exists in the Midwest in this world, and like it twists things in like strange and interesting ways.
Mm. I wonder how well known
Oh,
is this in the setting. I wonder, is this like, does everyone know about magic? Is it as well heard of as water, or is it, kind of a little more obscure?
it's a little more obscure.
Okay, cool. Hell yeah. I love that. I always love. We're not keeping it a secret, but no one cares to check us out, so whatever. Um,
hmm
you talked a little bit earlier about how it started out autobiographically. I wonder, is that still the case? In some way?
That's a very good question because there's something because like yeah, with the main character at least with Alexis herself, there is still there is and is going to be a strong sense of like autobiographical stuff of like story and the stuff that she deals with. I put a lot of myself into her. I even gave her my name, which I kind of regret
Mm-hmm.
because which I regretted for a while at least because like it just felt a little like self-inserty, but
I don't know. I feel like a self-insert really kind of we're coming up on the age of the self-insert, I think, at least.
oh, we've been in it,
Yeah,
honestly. You've been
absolutely.
in it since like 2013, I'd say.
Well, I think about like scene has been coming back for like 5 years now. People are like, doing Sparkle Dogs again and playing Neopets and shit. I'm thinking we're going back to self-insert fan fiction. Honestly, I'm thinking this is the big wave of the future, not just in the tiny nerd communities, but in the big ones too. I don't know.
Although honestly, like putting as much as I did into Alexis was honestly like it's not a bad move because like one of the main things I'm like aiming for in this project is a sense of authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think by pulling from myself and like looking at those like emotions and like trying to like dissect them and explain like how things work, it really does lend itself a sense of like authenticity.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, 100%. I find as well, maybe, I wonder if you feel like this, that it can often be like you're writing something or you're thinking ahead in a story and you sort of, because you've put so much of yourself into it, the story figures out something you're feeling before you do. Do you ever feel like that?
I'm sorry, repeat the question?
Do you ever feel like your story figures things out about you before you do?
Um, no, it's more like I have to like dive into the ether
Mm.
and like pull things out
Mm.
so I can like put it inside of the comic.
I see. So you're not. Yeah. Okay.
If
You're
like
not.
if my comic started like reading my mind, I think I'd freak out.
It is a little freaky when it starts to happen, but these things happen. Do we want to jump to chat questions real quick? Let's see.
Sure.
Let's see what chat has to say. Glitchsister wants to know what's the funkiest looking creature in the comic.
I can't say without spoilers.
Oh no. All right. What's the funkiest looking creature in the comic so far?
Honestly, Bill.
Yeah, I think
Definitely Bill.
Bill was pretty freaky looking.
Bill. I'm like, Whiskey looks funky.
Whiskey looks fucking cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
You always see people, and like, sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say that like each of the main three like represents sort of a different like music subculture.
Mm-hmm.
Like Whiskey is sort of like a crust punk, Alexis is a goth, and Sim is like grunge / like Midwest emo
Hell yeah.
kind of deal.
I love that there's enough. See, I don't know these communities well enough to like put that granularity in. So what's the difference for you between these three? I mean, obviously there are huge, broad differences, but on the nitty gritty level, what really separates a goth from a grunge or a Midwest emo?
The music they listen to, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of an obvious question.
Their music subgenres.
All right. Well, hey, listen, what separates music subgenres from each other? Who's to say what's different about a piece of music? That's all I'm saying. I'm getting intellectual here. You're the one.
I'm not a musician. I just like it enough to let it influence my art.
Mm-hmm. Love music.
Frankly, like if there's any music you should listen to while reading Anamoya, it's probably like either Tool or like the Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me by the band like Brand New. That's a good album to listen to while reading it, I think.
Why those two? Let's start with The Devil and God Are Dead Inside Me.
Because it has like this like because like the cover art kind of gets you in the mood. It's like definitely like it's with like the side palettes of like that house like being like chipped off and stuff. It really does have this rundown Midwestern feel, and the music itself is like really like sort of like melancholy and like raw and very like emotional, which is exactly everything that I'm trying to put in to this work.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, see it?
Yeah. I'm liking this. I'm liking the two guys. I'm sort of wondering what their story is, you know?
I think it's Halloween.
Oh, yeah, sure, why not? I'm thinking like these guys are.
That's what I always thought. These guys are taking the girl trick or treating, even though she's not in a costume.
Well, how does that make sense then? Hold on. Well, okay, so do you not?
They're just using the little girl as cover so that they can get candy for themselves.
I see. That's
so
awful.
They don't get like weird looks from people, even though they still want to trick or treat being older. I think that's yeah.
So, tell me a story about your favorite Halloween. Let's talk about this.
My favorite Halloween was when I was in 4th grade, and I dressed up as like as Ghostface from Scream. I did that for like 3 years in a row, but this time like my parents took me to Fear Farm.
What is Fear Farm?
Which was like a haunted. Yeah, it was like a haunted house.
Oh wow! Tell us about the what. So what was special about the haunted house?
It was my first time being in a haunted house, and I remember being really like scared and like closing my eyes for most of it. But like by the time I like got out, I just like realized that that I absolutely like had a blast with it.
That's adorable.
Even though I was like having my eyes closed and only peeking while like huddling up to my mom. My favorite bit was like we came into this laboratory and like Dr. Frankenstein was there, and like even as a kid I was a fan of like the Frankenstein movies, so I was like nerding out and I was like, oh man, I'm such a huge fan, I love your shit, man. And like my parents were like, no, do not, and the doctor scientist dude was like, you want to see the monster? I'm like, yeah. And my parents were like, no, don't, stop, cease this. And then like he started like ringing this bell or like knocking on a door or something, and like we were expecting the monster to come out of like the door in front of us, and instead he like popped in from behind us.
Oh my god, that's perfect. Are haunted houses especially important to you? Let's talk about this. I gotta stop saying that.
Oh yeah, I love haunted houses. At least when I get to visit. I always get like really nervous before like I get into them. Usually not really like scared, but like definitely nervous because I'm autistic and I have like weird like sensitivities to sound. You know, even though I just kind of want to like be in a spooky place for a bit.
Yeah, you sort of this is part of what I really like about urbexing. Is it really is just like being in a nice but calm, spooky place. There's not like nobody's gonna jump out at you or flash a light bulb at you. You just are sitting in a house that someone used to live in, and it's like, this is passively spooky.
And it's like it feels like there are ghosts there, though.
Oh yeah.
In a very passive sense.
The ghosts are just chilling. It's like you're sharing a joint with the ghosts. Have you ever shared a joint with a ghost? Let's talk about this. Stop saying that.
I've never met a ghost that wasn't an introvert.
Interesting. Do you think, is that maybe a prerequisite, or all the extroverted ghosts are somewhere else having a party?
I imagine all the extroverted ghosts are like knocking over furniture in some like old lady's house and stuff.
You sort of expect the party ghosts to be like throwing shit around, while the introverted ghosts kind of don't. So
yeah, you just get like the introverted ghosts are like the apparitions. You just see them out of the corner of your eye for like a brief moment.
I mean,
and then you look and they're gone.
That's always very reassuring. It's nice to know that someone's looking after you, you know?
Or at least like checking in on you to make sure you don't like get into their chips.
Yeah. Gotta leave the chips under the floorboard where we found them 15 years ago and haven't stopped thinking about them since.
Along with the telltale heart we left there too.
Yeah. Do you have any ghosts?
Were we supposed to be answering chat questions?
We were, but I like to sort of build off of the chat questions. I do have one more question. Do you have any ghost stories?
Okay, we can Do I know any ghost stories?
Mm-hmm.
I've never met a ghost.
Oh, no. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's go back to chat questions then. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're doing great. I'm having a great time.
I'm glad.
Spud363 wants to know what sort of mental health topics will be addressed in the story.
Mental health. Well, like some of the usual suspects, of course. Like you have anxiety, dysphoria, depression. You also have like stuff like I might have to do a little more research on, like trauma,
Mm-hmm.
abuse, guilt, self-harm are also topics that I plan to tackle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not very easy to make a joke about. But it's so I feel like
look, I think my self-harm stuff is pretty cutting edge.
All right. I don't know. That's okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm just sitting here like deciding how I feel about that. No, okay, that's fantastic. Thank God you made a joke, because I was like, whoops, I just halted the entire show by saying something mean. So thank God, because holy moly. You talked about, actually, I'm sorry, I was literally about to just be like, so you talked about trauma. Do you have any, like, in front of fucking however many people are here? We're gonna skip over that question because holy shit, what's wrong with me?
I have some trauma. Let me tell you all about it. Get your therapy hats on.
God, okay. Have you ever had a good therapist? I'm convinced they don't exist.
The closest thing I've ever had to a therapist is a psychiatrist. I had one because it was like either my state or insurance when I was getting on hormones made me get like an endocrinologist, a psychiatrist, and a psychologist. But like the visits with the psychologist were like every few months, too few and far between to be actually like effective, and eventually they just kind of like dropped it.
Mm-hmm.
I just see like
sorry, go ahead.
my psychiatrist and my endo person now.
Did you like your psychologist?
They were friendly enough.
I mean, it's okay. Group therapy. What are you talking about with group therapy, Spud? Oh, what we were talking about earlier. How you feeling?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Kind of giddy.
Hell yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm a little sweaty. But this always happens. And it's the middle of summer and I'm wearing a sweater and it's like, why am I doing that to myself? I'm used to like just absolute eternal cold. Everything is frozen over upstairs, which is a little difficult. And so I don't really have any clothes that aren't sweaters, which is, whatever. So where are you coming from tonight, actually? Let's talk about this. Stop saying.
Where am I coming from?
Yeah, where are you coming from?
Where am I broadcasting from?
Not like, you don't have to like dox yourself. I'm talking about like what were you doing today before this, I guess?
Today I played Stalker, watched some YouTube videos, and went out with my girlfriend for wings.
Oh, that's lovely. You always love wings with the girlfriend. You
just kind of like budgeting like my time, trying to think of stuff to do to kill time before like the show tonight.
Mm-hmm. I'm very flattered, honestly. It makes me feel special. Thank you for budgeting your time around me. I
like attention. I like talking about myself. So a chance to like have like a one-on-one thing where like both of us are talking about me is like something I just won't pass up.
I love the honesty here because really that's what I'm doing as well, which is why every sentence I speak has the word I in it. You know.
I have that same problem.
Have you ever thought about streaming? It is great to have the attention.
I have thought about like streaming before. I think I streamed on Twitch like a good handful of months ago, where I was just goofing around and like playing Doom.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I've also like recorded like a Let's Play, but it like funked out because there was no game audio.
Hmm. So you attempted I have to ask, how do you feel about flunking out of the Let's Play game? Maybe flunking out is an
Honestly,
aggressive word.
nah, flunking out is fine because it was like a learning experience, you know? And I learned that like I have a weird nasally voice.
Oh, I don't think
And
so.
my God, I need some music and video game sound effects that to accompany it, or no one's gonna just watch me play Sonic 2.
Mm. I don't know. Sonic 2 is great. Honestly, you know you don't want to get into the Let's Play thing. Like, you just listen. You don't need it. You're better off without it. Spud asks in chat, how long is Anemoia planned to be?
I'm hoping that there will be 3 arcs. I guess 3 arcs, maybe. It
3's a
could
good
stop
number.
at 2. Cause like with like the second arc, I want there to be like multiple like plot threads.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, in the current arc, things are a lot simpler. There's only like one sort of like thread, one like domino effect of like events.
Mm-hmm.
And like in the second arc, there'll probably be like multiple. So I'm guessing when the whole thing wraps up, I'm guessing 300 pages.
God damn. Would you ever sell it as a book?
Honestly, I'd love to, if it were possible.
It's totally
Which I'm not
possible.
sure if
I know exactly how you could do it. We can talk about that after the show.
Okay.
I'll get you in touch with my printer. That's so cool. That's really exciting, actually. I always feel like 3 chunks is a good length for something to be. And I think, all right, we already have some commitments from the chat. Chat would love to buy it. Hell yeah, that's exciting. All right.
Your chat is full of good noodles.
Chat is great. I've got a great chat going on here, honestly. You know, they're all wretched and fucked up and disgusting, but we love them.
We love them because of that. We love that for them.
Mm-hmm. Wretched and fucked up and disgusting. God. Anyway, what are your fans like? I feel like your fans are like very cool.
Are they?
I notice all the time that your fans are being like really outwardly nice and fucking just like having the greatest time fucking screaming at each other. How do you feel about it?
Yeah. They're very supportive. I'll give them that. I love like they do give a ton of like positive feedback and like affirmation. They're really good at that. And so like I must be doing something right because these like people get like really like excited whenever I put something out. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's nice to have that validation.
Queer alt art fans, cool? Never.
Yeah.
Honestly, it is cool. It's like the alternative and the marginalized becomes like the cutting edge of trends.
I really love that. The one thing, a lot of the time I look in the mirror and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done this whole transgender thing. But the fact that, you know, I get to know about all the cool art before everyone else does, that's rad. I love that. That's my favorite thing. Anyway.
Honestly, yeah, like weird like little underground like trans projects probably give me a lot of life because like even if I don't like consume them directly, just like having them there on the periphery, like me knowing about them, like it really does make me feel sort of like part of this like really neat like DIY scene.
What kind of projects are you following
Like
right now? Sorry, go ahead.
what am I following right now? Actually, a good question. I've mostly been just playing video games lately.
All right, well let's switch gears. What about, do you have like a favorite project that you remember coming out of or maybe some projects you'd like to highlight that have come out of this scene?
Honestly, like Remy Boydell's stuff is like really good. Like The
Fuck
Pervert and 920
yes.
London are like two books that I like think about like on the regular, and like I have them near me when I need to do like panel layouts and stuff. I'll look through like 920 London and a handful of like other comics to help me with like layout ideas, and I'll just like catch myself just reading it.
I remember the layout of, wasn't the layout of The Pervert? Oh, you said 920 London. All right, never mind. I was gonna say it wasn't the layout of the
like 920 London. It'd be really weird to get layout ideas from like The Pervert. Ooh,
yeah,
that's very nice.
For those of you who,
I remember when like she made that.
For those of you who have not read The Pervert, all of the panels are square, so you know.
It's a rigid 2x6 grid, the whole book.
And I wonder,
That's where I get my most dynamic layout ideas. What are you talking about?
You sort of look at that and you're like, it's like White Rabbit on a snowstorm. You just want to throw some fucking red paint on it. Oh god, I had a great question.
Also,
I lost it. Go ahead.
My favorite like webcomic is like Dropout by Plural. They go by a lot of names.
Fucking god, I love Dropout. Holy shit. God damn.
Yeah, Dropout, like I got drunk and like when I read the end, and I just like sent a friend of mine just like the fucking like most sentimental message I've ever written anyone. I was just like, I love you, man.
I really do love how much art like makes you a little bit better as when it does make you that just tiny bit better as a person, where you're like, I'm gonna tell someone that they matter to me today. I really love when that becomes like an inspiration. Let's see. Do we have any more chat questions?
By the way, like if you have like any recommendations of stuff that I should check out, you should probably like send them my way, because like I do feel a little behind.
Oh
and
my god,
would
no!
like to see what's cool, especially if it's like visual art stuff.
It's all Cat with Gun right now. It's Dana Giro and the fucking Cat with Gun stuff, and that's the only thing that I know about.
I've seen some like art of that.
Yeah, Party Pratt's got a new cat. Not a lot's going on right now. Read Crow Killers. How do you feel about Crow Killers? Since obviously you've heard of it.
I have heard of it. The art look. I went to the website. I really like the style, that like that old like Windows XP kind of feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really like that.
I feel like, especially like
always kind of like liked that like kind of like scribbly like lo-fi art.
Mm-hmm.
That what's their name? Why isn't it Stephanie something? Are
you talking about the terrible chick? No.
No, the author of Crow Killers.
Oh, Kate Wirtz.
Kate Wirtz. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I really like Kate Wirtz art style.
Kate Wirtz is very cool. Someone was trying to remember the name of Dropout, so thank God you mentioned it.
You're welcome, Paramatter. Paramatter. You matter, Paramatter.
Yeah. Hey, you matter to us. Chat, drop your like cool shit recommendations. I need to catch up on cool shit too, to be honest. Here's something I can do. Check out Not Dead in stores now. Search your favorite bookstore for Not Dead by Maddie Girlmeat. That's a cool thing you can buy. Anyway, I'm done plugging.
I can read that.
It's pretty good.
What's it about?
It's about well, it's autobiographical. It's about me and my ex-husband escaping from hell. This was like 12 decades ago at this point. I'm well over it, but so yeah, that's what the first one is about. We escape out of hell.
It is now I who interview you.
I'm fine with that. Fuck it. Yeah. So if you like queers in books, if you like book queers and things that are... People keep telling me that it's honest, and I don't understand that. I think it's just painful. If you like experiencing pain, do that. I was raised on fucking 2 decades of Gorillaz fan fiction, so you got that flavor in there. You talked about
Gorillaz fan fiction.
Yeah. Well,
Who do you ship?
I don't ship any of the Gorillaz. None of that's healthy.
Who do you ship the Pickle Man with?
Who do I ship? I ship Murdoch with me. I lie awake at night with my Murdoch body pillow, and I go, oh, he's so evil, all that shit. It's because I wear glasses. If I didn't have to wear glasses, I wouldn't ship Murdoch with me. No.
Honestly, I only like I like Noodle.
Noodle's cool.
Some people some people really they fall for Tootie, but like
I used to like him. He's a little pathetic now. I don't know. The thing about Noodle to me too is I remember the old MTV videos when she was still very much a child, and I'm like, I don't know. That just feels weird to me. So
technically she was always older than me.
Is that true? When were you born?
She was 10 when I was 8.
Interesting. I wonder what that felt like. That's so interesting.
I mean, I didn't figure that out until I officially became a Gorillaz fan a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's oh, we weren't the same age at that point. She was older than me. Huh.
Maybe I need to Google that. Maybe that's true for me too. How long have you been interested in women? Is that a weird question? I'm just curious.
Since puberty, I guess.
Oh, okay, well, fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense. Do we want to get any last fucking chat questions in here? Hello, chat. All right, no more chat questions. How are you feeling?
Huh? How am I doing?
How are you doing?
How am I doing?
Glitchsister wants to know Bogo's Binted.
Bogo's Binted? I don't know what that means.
That's not really a question. Yeah. Favorite music? Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to ask earlier. Favorite music or bands?
Oh god. Why did you ask that? Oh Jesus Christ. Okay. Favorite music. Right now I'm getting back into black metal again, on and off, and I've been checking out a lot of depressive suicidal black metal. That's really cool, Zaster and Leviathan and Thy Light and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one album that I'm getting into called... Where's my albums YouTube playlist?
Here we go.
Where is it?
Come on. We need it.
There's this one that I really like. It's called Abyssic Hate, Suicidal Emotions. That one's really good. It has it's depressive black metal, but it's got a really nice, almost warm guitar tone. And Gorgoroth, Under the Sign of Hell, that's just straight up black metal, but it's my favorite black metal album of all time. And there's this other cool album I'm getting into called Mutilation, Vampires of Black Imperial Blood, that I really like, that I think is neat.
This is so... I love these titles so much. Can you say that last one more time?
Mutilation, Vampires of Black Imperial Blood.
Okay. Check that out. Druid Punk wants to know what type of blood you're drinking.
Typo negative. Donated to me by a Peter Steele.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Peter, for the blood. Why O negative? Is that the best type?
You want to know why?
Yeah, tell me why.
It's tasty.
What's it taste like? Can I have a try?
Blood.
Oh.
It's like an irony taste. It's an acquired taste, but like when it's the only thing that you're able to eat without puking, like you start to like acquire it.
Yeah, I imagine you would.
Yeah, Druid Punk is right. Type O negative is like universal donor.
So I wonder, maybe even it's you know, it's the tums of blood. Just sits nice and comfy in your tummy.
Yeah.
Gutter, thank you so much for coming on. You can find Gutterbunny's comic Anemoia at anemoia-comic.tumblr.com. Thank you again for being on the show. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we move on?
I can't think of anything.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending the time.
Hey, my pleasure.
Hell yeah. We still got an entire half of the show for you. We're going to have Glitchsister on in just a little bit. We're going to have an intermission, and then we're going to come back. And then after the intermission, we're going to listen to some Glitchsister music, and then we're going to talk to Glitchsister about the upcoming Hexen 3, which I mentioned at the top of the show. Stay tuned for that. Most animals don't get a second chance. You fall through a lake, and the current drags your fur, and you end up dead under 6 inches of ice. You cross the wrong people, and you end up smeared across the snow. You end up half a world away from home. You end up climbing out of hell, coming up to a surface world that forgot your name. Not Dead is a cyberpunk paranormal thriller about the supernatural trying to lead mundane lives. It follows undead reporter Hanratty Vermington and her demonic partner Set, 2 animals in pain trying their best to be good. It's also about gay animal people kissing each other. Are we back? Oh, good, we're back. Welcome back. That was fantastic. I really like talking to Gutter. So right now we're gonna have some fucking video DJing from Amber, also known as Glitchsister, who's putting on the third Hexen show, coming up. I do want to warn that this set, it's some video DJ stuff, so there's flashing lights. And there was one more warning that Amber wanted me to give. Oh, there's a huge hole in my pajama pants. Wow. Okay. Amber wanted me to give a warning for... Hey, just in case... Loudness warning. So it'll be loud and... you know, it might hurt your eyes. Be careful. We're starting that in 3, 2, 1.
You think you know me?
No use for your soul.
You think you know me?
Upside down and inside out. I'm about to show all you folks what it's all about now. About now. About to show all you folks what it's all about now. About to show all you folks what it's all about now.
You think you know me?
Show all you folks what it's all about.
No matter where the video game is, no matter where the video game is.
What? What's your great matter? Wait, what?
It's different.
All right.
I was gonna pop it on the CRT.
Pop what on the CRT? No, we're not doing any CRT stuff. No, we're not. Come on, give us that extra little layer. That was a special mix from Glitchsister. This fall, she's coming out with a third installment of the Hex and URL show. Tentatively, kind of, maybe on October 3rd. You can find more information about that on its Twitter at HEXENSHOW. That's on Twitter. Amber, welcome to the show.
Hey, it's slime time on prime time.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. I'm excited. So I always ask, when people come into the construct, they kind of have to construct themselves, right? I wonder, why did you decide to be slime?
I didn't mean to. I don't really come to like this universe too often, so things kind of got a little messy.
That's understandable.
Yeah. So I don't worry about it. We'll
get something. We'll roll something out. Like, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll figure.
I'm the one asking the questions here.
Yeah, exactly. I love the green though. Did you get to choose the green at the very least?
I mean, I drew this.
Oh, okay. Great. Fantastic. So let's talk about Hexen.
Okay.
Yeah. We talked earlier about... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, it's a URL show. And for those who don't know what a URL show is, it's like this... It's basically like online concerts, but there's plenty of different avenues to take it. You can do like VR chat URL shows in Minecraft. Technically, all of those like big stars who did stuff in Fortnite, those were like, I don't count those are URL shows. Excuse me. Got a little slime in my mouth, but drippy. But yeah, I mean that's kind of the basic idea. But with Hexen, it's dedicated to video, because that's not really a thing. That's like, I don't know. It's not really an avenue that's full yet, full of names. So yeah.
Hell yeah, getting in on the ground floor.
Basically.
How'd you come up with this like, or I guess how did you decide that this is what you wanted to do? This like video forward URL show.
Well, how you get into it is you buy a Tekken 3 cabinet when you're 10 years old for about $14 at an auction because people think it's broke. Then you get into pirate radio, and then get into YouTube about 2008, and then you end up here.
You were on YouTube by 2008? What, like, did you live... What the hell?
I've been on the internet too long.
You were weary of YouTube when it came up. Is this what I'm understanding? You were like, I don't want to go to YouTube.
No, like I was making videos before YouTube was a thing.
Oh, I see.
So like I had to download Tenacious D stuff off of like whatever website because YouTube wasn't around yet.
What's your
for
favorite?
A few months.
What's your favorite website? Let's talk about this.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a thinker.
I mean, like RuneScape and Neopets were good websites when they were still like usable. I don't know. There's Exo.pet. That's a fun one.
I've actually never been on Exo's website, and I feel so bad about it. This is what we're doing right now.
I mean, we can surf the net if you like.
Exo.pet. We're going to the website. That's the whole URL?
I believe so.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Let's go.
We're in the internet.
Can we get that on the big screen?
I'm trying to get it on the big screen. Cool. Welcome to Exo.pet 2. Interesting. Wow.
Yeah. So when you see in the background, that's what's going on. It's a funky little bitch.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah. You can create a pet on Exo.pet?
Would you want to do that?
Well, I don't know if we would have time, but everyone... So here's what we'll do. I'll continue to run the show. Everyone in chat, go to exo.pet and create your own pet. Post them in the chat and we'll do a pet review at the end. Exo.pet review. Girl Meet and Glitchsister doing it. Anyway. So what does Hexen do to stand out? You talked
it's go ahead.
Go ahead.
It is it's a URL show that's dedicated to video. All of the sets are, on the channel it starts on from start to finish. All the sets have visual representation, visual stimuli, and it's not just music. I mean, on the last show, X2, Hexen X2, we had a full half hour of a independent cartoon called Blood Thing. And yeah, that was in between two like really, really great sets between like VCR slot and Jam Cam. And
Hell
then in between, there was a little bit of a what some people called Night Chord Futurama.
Hell yeah.
Where I just played Futurama in between sets because
Yeah, sure, why not?
Time, so
A little bit of copyright violation never killed nobody.
does Twitch really queer? Like that's how URL shows are possible on here.
I guess that's
So,
true.
Take it while you can get it, eh?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. It's almost like Twitch figured out MV? Music. What's this? Vision? I don't know. And now you're bringing the T back to MTV. I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. Or is that?
Yeah. I suppose so.
In an alternate dimension where the T didn't take over MTV. Anyway.
Oh no, the T is taking over MTV.
Yeah.
Like majority of the people on the show are trans.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, 100%. I have to ask so you talked about VCR slot and Jam Cam. They're doing a back-to-back in this one, right?
No, that is Astro Blur and VCR slot. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
You're half right.
Talk about them. Talk about the lineup. Let's see who's to look out for in the latest Hexen. I mean, first of all, me, obviously.
Yes, you are doing some behind-the-scenes interviews and stuff with the artists.
Yeah.
After their sets,
which makes me feel very sexy that I was invited to do that. Hell yeah.
All right, so I've got the list right here.
Let's go down the list.
All right, can we let's. I think we have a clip. Do we have a clip?
Do we have a clip? We have.
Hey, Jamie Kennedy, can you get the fucking clip?
This clip, the red and black one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's chill.
Sorry.
I just didn't figure that out.
Jamie Kennedy. He hosted the G4 Awards really badly one year.
It seems like it doesn't want to go for some reason.
Well, if not, we've got plenty of other stuff online. Whole archive. Anyway, while you're getting that, I can go through the clips. I think we overloaded the Exopet site.
Oh, wow. Did we? Whoops. Sorry, Exo.
Yeah.
Sorry about your website, bud. Whoopsie daisy.
So we've got 6. We've got Entranced Jew, Bisexual Max Fisher, a back-to-back with Aki and Alexis. Excuse me. Bobby, which is a new name to Hexen, but really, really good. A noise artist alongside Retro Guy. And we also have Uttering Music and Vivi Mouse, as well as Nani. And one or two other things. Another back-to-back run in the show is Low Bongwater and Taffa. Hey, I see you in chat. What's up? And as well, Exo.pet is playing. And she just played 100 Gex last night. So, like...
Holy moly.
Yeah. Oh, Taffa. Yeah. Taffa Online.
Hell yeah. This is all on.
We're part of Daisy Chain.
Hell yeah. So, you mentioned some of these artists who were new to Hexen. How did you find them?
Well, some of them through meeting just through mutuals or seeking them out through other URL shows. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I like that sort of like scouting energy that you're always doing. It's very flattering when I get a message from you and you're like, hey, do you want to do something? And I'm like, yeah. I like that a lot. I have a lot of fun with that. Let's get back to the questions. Talked about the lineup. Actually, this is a perfect transition. So while you're scouting around, which other URL producers are you like really into?
right now, well, if you mean specifically showrunners, it's the people at Funny Rave, including Six, who doesn't really play many URL shows except for Funny Rave. So that's going to be interesting. And Kill Switch, that's another one. They are not a showrunner, but they do kind of like play different scenes through the VR URL scene and the like video scene and around that. Another one second. Let me get a name. Let me get a good name.
Let's get a deep cut here.
Let's get a deep cut.
We're trying to set up a video feed here. Amber, are you good to transmit your video feed?
1 second. Hey,
okay.
Ashton Simon shouts out. You're a cool showrunner.
Hell yeah.
From Millennial Strike. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
All right.
That's a good list. Fucking follow all of those. Get that in your fucking follow that on TV Twitch. Listen. Do we want to go to oh, here's one. What do you feel like this scene does that like other like live music or live performance, those kinds of things don't do? What's uniquely good about this?
Well, specifically with Hexen, when you take it in the meat space, the IRL space, if you will, you can control the volume, you can control the crowd, you can control the noise and everything. That's a little bit. It's planned around accessibility. You know, just a little bit of it. That's a little bit of the philosophy I have in the show, but there's a lot to that. You know. And so I think, especially with video, specifically with like the URL scene that's going on Twitch, that is like music videos basically. I think that is like a really interesting grounds of creativity and ways that everyone can watch, no matter like there's no wall guard or anything, or like you don't need a specific invite. You can just look on the website itself, look in the tabs, and what's going on. You
don't need like a cable provider subscription. You can just walk in.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Because there are some URL shows where you need a password or you need to know a certain person to get in, and I'm not about that. I like accessibility.
Yeah, I think, like, why not just let everyone have like when you do a URL show, it's not like there's a limited amount of space. Let everyone have fun. That's great. Yeah. Do we want to head to chat questions?
What do we got in questions going?
What do we got in questions on chat? Chat, post some questions in the chat. Please post questions, chat the questions to the chat, and we'll post the questions on the stream by reading them. Chat, ask a fucking question right now. Oh, this is not something I asked, and you were kind of secretive about the answer, so I don't know whether or not I'm allowed to ask this. The X3, was that intentional? Was it like, the X3 face?
Oh, the weather's fine. It's fucking muggy. But also, yeah, it was intentional. As well as there's 3 back-to-backs on the show, so,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. It's an X3 combo.
Who's my favorite wrestler?
Yeah.
That's an interesting. That kind of changes every Wednesday. I would say an interesting one right now. I mean, Eddie Guerrero is pretty fucking cool. I love watching old WCW Nitro. And Lord Steven Regal, and a lot of the luchadors in WCW, and basically anyone who came from like GCW, excuse me, or like any of those mainstay indies who went to AEW, All Elite Wrestling, fucking like good. It's hard to pick. And I didn't grow up with wrestling, so.
Can I ask, what's the criteria by which you evaluate wrestlers? Like, why are your favorites your favorites?
I think it's a mixture of things. Altogether, I like even if it's not on the front, a story going through, a through line throughout their whole career almost, or even like 3 weeks or 6 months, like, and when that makes sense and it continues and people keep up with it, that's fun. It's like watching vlogs, you know?
Yeah.
It's the same type of like dopamine.
What's been your favorite like wrestler arc that you can remember?
Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page.
Okay.
Yeah. The main current through line. Also, I would say I don't have a favorite wrestler, but I also love that Dan Hazen.
Dan Hazen. Great guy.
Yeah.
King of the team.
Yeah.
What happened in this arc that was your explain the arc that you liked.
Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. Still ongoing. It is the major arc of All Elite Wrestling, basically from like before the company even like signed the papers to make it official. So they were in a large group called the Elite. They kind of split it off. And at one point, Kenny Omega and Adam were like the tag team champions, the second tag team champions of the company. And then they broke up, and they kind of had a relationship where it's like, oh, they kiss.
Oh my god, they have gay wrestlers?
They smooch. Well, Kenny Omega is like bi.
Oh my god.
He sold out the Tokyo Dome with like basically his former tag team partner, literally that, Okada, in their tag team called the Golden Lovers. Hint, hint, nod, nod.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Trash Bad wants to know which wrestlers are the hottest.
Oh, okay. Well, do you mean like how many times they've been on like fire, as in like engulfed in flames, or like, oh, I would like to have a nice date with them, maybe?
How many times? How frequently do your favorite wrestlers get burned alive? What?
Yeah, that does happen. I mean, Mick Foley, plenty of times. Terry Funk, plenty of times. Oh yeah, the Funkster, he's fucking cool. I really enjoy his shit. I mean, my first Ural set included Onita versus Terry Funk in a XPW match with a timed explosive barbed wire ring match.
Oh my god, timed explosive? I've never have even. This is wrestling, and they've got like a C4 bomb.
Match.
Oh, I see.
Not really C4, but yeah. I can get you the.
Yeah, I'll play that clip on stream. Holy shit. Do people die in wrestling?
It's rarer than you think, but it can happen, unfortunately, because, you know, it's more common in like lucha when it happens in ring, because neck twists and stuff like that, unfortunately. But you know,
I mean like
lore
wise,
people are die in ring. Loris.
Yeah,
that turns into a lot of different technicalities, because that can be like, all right, we're kicking you off the show, or oh, we need to send you off, and then we're gonna send you to like school for 6 months, paid wrestling school basically, and then they put you back on TV under a different gimmick character, so on and so forth.
Fascinating. But it's not like the Undertaker like gets killed during a wrestling match and then 3 days later is like, I'm the Undertaker, I'm the king of hell.
That happens, yes.
Oh hell yeah.
But
fuck yeah, I love that soap opera shit. What's that?
The ring. the Undertaker, even though IRL he's a bootlicker, he once hung Big Boss Man, the cop character of the WWF.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
We love hanging cops. This is what this show is all about.
Yeah, I think that was King of the Ring. Wait, no, Hell in a Cell in '97 or '8 or somewhere around that.
What's the most violence you've ever done to a police officer? Why not, right? I'm having fun.
Never, but I've done a little trolling, that's for sure. I've gotten away with a few things.
Tell me about your best trolls.
Okay. I used to spray paint stuff.
Okay.
You used to be like a graffiti artist here and there.
Oh, okay.
And so that just kind of ties into like, especially when I was doing pirate radio, in the early days of that, like that's, kind of tied that into there.
So you started, out doing pirate radio first, and then switched over to like URL stuff?
Well, I started doing pirate radio, I'm gonna say in 2014.
Oh, god
2015.
Damn. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Because I bought a transmitter off of Amazon.com. You can buy them for like $60 or $80. I mean, they go higher, but keep it legal.
Mm-hmm. What was the response to that like?
Well, I mean, really, it was just if everything worked right, because even when dealing with the most basic of hardware, there can always be technical difficulties, and I've learned this in the URL scene, and no matter who's running a show, eventually they're gonna have tech issues. It's part of the gig.
Yep. It's part of I have tech issues every week. I had tech issues today. Spud wants to know how you get started with pirate radio. Maybe more conceptually than the literal. Go ahead.
I had a lot of time because I stopped going to high school. Nice. I dropped out twice in 10th grade.
You went back and you were like, oh, fuck this, I shouldn't have gone back.
Yeah, because I saw my cousin who lived with me at the time in the same class. I was like, nah, don't want to do this.
What?
See you, bud.
What's wrong with your cousin?
And then, no, I mean, he's fine. God, we would have gotten in so much trouble. We were already fucking, like, I spent so much time in, like, SSI in middle school. I was a bad kid.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You were a bad kid? Tell me about this. What the hell? What did you do?
I mean, it wasn't too bad. I was just fucking troller. Like, I would troll people before, like, it really had a name.
You were
like...
You were an original troll?
I guess.
Oh my God.
Like, all right, so catch this. I'm walking my way to school.
Yeah.
I see a broken CRT. The outer husk, the not the part where the yolk is, not the curve, but just kind of the outer rim is just kind of laying there. So I put it betwixt my neck and my shoulders, and then I just kind of walk my way to school. And then I have it on my shoulders, all like going to class until I can't remember his name, but like I only remember him because like he said to the like this was a ancient history teacher, basically, like guy who told the class, yeah, I don't do drugs because when I was little, my dad had like a huge like glass of water. Well, it wasn't water. Turned out it was vodka, and he just and so that person asked me to politely take that off because I look silly. And there you go. That was the same year I wrote like 2 different comics. I did a another reboot of like a like satire-ish comedy show on YouTube that was like satire newish. And while I was doing school like comics, well, comics for school, yeah, I used to do stuff drawing wise, yeah.
Hell yeah. Do you still have any of these comics?
Somewhere. I mean, I started drawing comics when I was like 10, so
Understandable. Comics are great. I think everyone has had like that experience of I drew comics 10 years ago and it was so fun. Do you remember
the first? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask what kind of comics you made.
Oh, very just random XD comics. Yeah. I mean, my first OC, well, my first two OCs were. So, do you know of the film Attack the Killer Tomatoes?
No.
Starring,
Maybe.
Okay. What's
is
his
it like
face
an
from?
old mad scientist movie?
Basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I know. I got it.
Yeah. So my first OC was technically a killer tomato, and then it was I had to make it. Well, I was just like bored in school, so I drew up another little thing, and I was like, magical fairy begay.
Hell yeah.
And then, hi, here I am. I'm gay.
Welcome to gay.
Welcome to gay.
Who was the first person you came out to as a gay?
I have no fucking clue.
You wouldn't be able to pull a name?
I mean, like the first time I ever went on a date, after that date, the girl was like, hey, that was fun and all, but I think I would like to date girls now.
Oh.
But but the thing is, I mean, she's a total dyke. I love her. Melody, yeah. And then like I came out to her like years after because I was also like a flaming twink for a little bit. It's one of those things, yeah. And so yeah.
Hell yeah. You two are still friends, you and Melody?
No, I don't have a Facebook, so I fucking no one on. I know from like my past towns. Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of lesbians out there. You know?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Who's your favorite lesbian right now?
All of my girlfriends.
Hell yeah. Shout out to all the girlfriends. Taffa,
yeah.
Thank you for being in chat. See you later. Have a nice night. Damn.
Get that gay grump out of the bit space.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's the Game Grumps call-out post. We're doing something fun and ironic.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Not So Grump, a documentary by Kincaid Bishop. What the hell? There's documentaries about the... Holy moly. More like Gay Grumps. Chat, do we have any... So what's your favorite episode of Game Grumps? That's not funny to ask. Who... Yeah. Chat, do we have any more chat questions?
Got a cup of noodle.
You got a cup of noodle?
I think I got a couple of noodle.
A couple of noodles or a cup of noodles?
Hey, so I think I've got this avatar situation figured out. And I got a Coca-Cola coffee.
Sick.
Oh, top 3 weed strains with me? Let's see. The black, OG Poison Skywalker cookies.
Skywalker cookies. Tell us about Skywalker cookies. What are they like? Also, we've got Amber on the stream now.
Oh, hi.
Transmitting live from Glitchsister headquarters.
Yeah, the Brock show was really cool. I mean, I'm partial to Space Ghosts, Harvey Birdman. Yeah, Really, anything like that has really inspired me. Top three non-weed drugs. I'm not gonna say they're good or not, but just spitballing. Those allergy medicines that like fuck you up. Sharpies. They smell good.
Are you?
And
Do you mean
and
top?
White Claw.
None of those are like drugs, though.
Fucking bad. Oh shit.
God damn. Favorite? Okay, what about three favorite non-drug drugs? It's things that aren't supposed to be drugs, but are.
Ativan.
Okay.
Benadryl.
Benadryl's a drug.
Pepto-Bismol.
Okay. Pepto-Bismol doesn't do anything. You're telling tales out of school.
I take Pepto-Bismol quite a bit. It helps me.
What does it do?
Helps me tum-tum.
Oh, you just take it for its intended purpose. I was thinking like, does Pepto-Bismol secretly get you fucked up? And the answer is maybe, but probably not.
Pretty metal.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What's the most Pepto-Bismol you've ever had?
Like half a bottle.
Yeah, that's a pretty normal number. I feel like if you've never had half a bottle of Pepto-Bismol, it's like, come on.
Oh, I'm gonna have a fucked up tummy after this.
Tell us about the flavors. Tell us about the taste.
It's not too bad. It's just a lot. There's a lot in here. So it's you kind of do. It's like Starbucks coffee, like canned coffee, like pre-made stuff. But it's got a little bit of that Coke. I don't know. It's alright. I wouldn't recommend it right now, but
would you have this? Would you sooner have this or a Coke? This or just a classic Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
Coca-Cola on the rocks.
I think
ice
I'd
cold.
go with piss.
Oh, well, okay. Is this something, or is this like an open call? Are we trying to find pissers out here?
Shouts out?
If we have any pissers in the chat, I'll give you Amber's phone number.
Shouts out to pissers.
Yeah, shouts out to the pisser.
You don't have my phone number. You can't do
Okay.
that.
Well, I probably won't. Any pissers in the chat, please let us know. It's time for the Exo.pet pet contest. Did anyone make it an Exo.pet? Exopet, I guess? We did crash the site, so I assume at least one person did it. Who's your favorite Exopet?
And I believe we've got some... Oh, who's my favorite Exopet?
Yeah.
Exo.pet. Is my favorite Exopet.
What a fun little creature. My computer's not working. Uh-oh. Why is... Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Exo's website is fucking with my computer.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Awful.
I can see it on stream and slow.
I think... Are we back?
I believe we're back. Yeah.
Piss Freak says piss, 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 piss. Congratulations. We're really happy about piss. Hell yeah, you were saying just a second ago something?
Oh, piss.
Piss. We do definitely have pissers in the chat.
Oh, believe me.
Yeah, 100%. I if someone tried to tell me there were no pissers in this chat, I'd just be like, fuck that, that's not true. You just texted me something. Horror special, Funny Rave and Busters. Funny Rave, Rave and Busters.
Yeah, about let me check. You were asking about that barbed wire death match. I would say about 2 minutes in. 2.5 minutes in is 3 minutes in. Yeah, that's the right time. Is when all the wacky shenanigans starts.
Hell yeah. Let's get the wacky shenanigans up on stream, please. Hold on just a moment.
Yeah, this was my introduction to the URL scene.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Where is it?
At Raven Busters 2020.
I'm just gonna start a new fucking screen capture. Okay. One moment while I do window capture Google Chrome. Okay. Here we go. Oh man, is this real barbed wire? Hold on. Can we show this? Go ahead.
You can show it.
Okay.
Funny Rave showed it.
Funny Rave has all the Twitch clout right now. I'm not on the same level as Funny Rave. Funny Rave has Wayne Radio TV and Weed Hitler in it. Like, let's be real. They're never gonna be taken offline.
You think this show can't get them too?
I did get Weed Hitler, but that ship is sort of sailed. This show can't get. I couldn't get Wayne Radio TV. No, 100% no. Who's your favorite streamer right now then?
Who's streaming right now? Are we gonna go and raid?
Well, we'll raid someone in a little bit. I'm just asking who you like. Who's on your list?
Yeah, I mean a lot of people who are playing Hexen, Otterian music for one.
Hell yeah.
See, let me go to my, because I do follow quite a few people on Twitch. I'll just see.
Hell yeah.
So all of their names are like four words, paragraphs long. Yeah.
Spud, I couldn't get Wayne Radio TV for $1 million fucking dollars. Are you kidding me? You could give me a bomb and the president, and I wouldn't be able to get Wayne Radio TV. Not that I would ever do anything with the bomb and a president. A bomb and the president. What in God's name? This is a whole lot of beating. What the hell? They're just hitting each other.
Would you like me to introduce you to something that is wrestling, but not the wrestling you think it is? And
yes.
Even more out there than this?
Okay.
Danhausen.
I'm looking up Danhausen.
Yes.
Danhau. Danhausen. Here we go.
Yes.
Whoa.
He is the future of wrestling to some degree.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, this is basically... Like, I take quite a bit of influence in, not necessarily my direction, but, oh yeah, Orange Cassidy from AEW.
Hell yeah.
Alongside of a few other things. Danhausen does more things on YouTube than he does necessarily in the ring, because the company he's signed to, that's his TV contract, only does like a few TV tapings a year, so.
Mm-hmm. I like that he keeps throwing the dude down, and he's just like,
Mm-hmm.
Is he evil? He's supposed to be evil. He's like the darkness man.
Very nice, very evil. Love that Danhausen.
Everyone likes Danhausen.
Yeah.
Look at the fucking performance that's happening here. I'm loving this. Holy moly. Alright, I'm getting it. This is Shakespearean. I'm just watching their body movements and I'm mesmerized.
Oh, you want to see some crazy shit?
Yeah, show me some fucking crazy shit.
I'll get you some very current crazy shit. Alright, let's see.
He don't have an ass to fucking speak for, though. God damn. Well, you look like Draco Malfoy in them jeans, boy. Do some fucking squats. Have a hamburger. Jesus Christ, man. And his ass is so pointed at the camera that his opponent has a nicer ass. Look at that. Oh.
Get that little
hate to watch him go. Love to leave. All right, who am I looking up?
All right, 1 second. I'll get you the latest. So you can see the drama play out in real time. And this is relevant to the Hangman Adam Page thing I was talking about.
Oh my god,
right.
it's him.
I'll drop you a link. Because there's always actually, well, that's mostly just talking. So we'll skip that for now. I'll show you after this.
Okay.
It's a doozy of a storyline. But to answer your question about who I like streaming wise, Sima Insomnia, that's a pretty good one. Mega 64. See, just scrolling down the list. Sophia HJKL.
Oh, she doesn't like me. That's funny.
Warehouse Radio, pretty good one. Another URL show.
Hell yeah.
99 Worldwide.
Fuck yeah.
PBS Fest, another URL show. I mean, there's plenty others, but yeah.
Hell yeah. Philosophy.
And shouts out to Germa985.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, Jerma. We love Jeremy. What was I about to... Possum Nat asks, philosophy.
For what? Like, in like show making? Because I can go all day about like how I produce things and the overthinking I do in just like one thing, to the point where it can be hard to answer directly, where it's like I'm fucking speaking French.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So no philosophy.
Well, there is, but sometimes I do overthink it, and then I have to start from scratch.
Mm.
And then it becomes good again.
Hell yeah.
That is, like, I try to start out with, like, what have I been watching this week, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And like taking all of that in, or like from just all the stuff I've been taking in recently, and puking it back out to some sorts, but also giving it a specific meaning.
Well, this is the thing about throwing up that nobody understands, but I do, because I think a lot about throwing up. You're not just you eat a big pile of strawberries, you throw up. That's not just strawberries in there. Some of you's in there too. You know.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Metaphysical, I suppose.
Do you like strawberries? Let's talk about this.
Yeah, I like strawberries.
Well, good, because we've got a big pile of strawberries here, and we're turning this jelly into jam. Oh, there's the correct color.
I'm a slimy racist.
Well, I don't know anything about that. Welcome to the show, Strawberry Jamber. Anyway, Amber, thank you so much for coming on the show. Was there anything you wanted to talk about before we move on?
Well, I've probably got some new music coming out later this week, and I'm working on putting together Hexen X3, which is later this fall. Right now, it's looking at somewhere at the end of September, or early October, and yeah.
Hell yeah!
See you all there.
Hell fucking yeah! Let's see. What was the? Oh yeah. Hexen, tentatively, will be October 3rd, 8 hours of banger content. You should be there, at the very least, because I'm going to be there. And everyone here likes me. Amber, thank you so much for coming on the show. Oh, you can find more information about Hexen at HEXEN show on Twitter. Amber, thanks for coming out.
Yeah. All right, thanks for having me.
Hell yeah. See you later. All right. We're bringing it full circle, because I can't stop doing this impression of the Steve MRE gentleman. Thank you for coming out. That was Raturday night. Who do we want to... Oh, I forgot to ask Amber who we're gonna raid. I'm texting Amber right now. Hold on. We'll raid someone. Anyone in chat want to raid? I don't know. While I'm waiting to figure out who we're raiding, I will play a quick ad for Not Dead, and then the show will be over. Most animals don't get a second chance. You fall through a lake, and the current drags your fur, and you end up dead under 6 inches of ice. You cross the wrong people, and you end up smeared across the snow. You end up half away from home. You end up climbing out of hell. Most animals don't get a second chance. You fall through a lake, and the current drags your fur, and you end up dead under 6 inches of ice. You cross the wrong people, and you end up smeared across the snow. You end up half a world away from home. You end up climbing out of hell, coming up to a surface world that forgot your name. Not Dead is a cyberpunk paranormal thriller about the supernatural trying to lead mundane lives. It follows undead reporter Hanratty Vermington and her demonic partner Set, 2 animals in pain trying their best to be good. It's also about gay animal people kissing each other.
Action! Then hit.